For the workers inside the warehouse, it was a terrifying night. They had to hide as a bullet started flying.
Action 7 News reporter Kate DeMush talked to one employee who describes the chaos. It's an interview you'll see only on 7.
One Ben E. Keith employee says they had just walked into work when
those guys came running. And they're like, there's an active shooter in there, bro. Like, don't go in there. So we all ran back to the parking lot.
They say one of the employees had been shot.
And he like collapsed over, so we drug him behind my car a little bit and started putting the pressure on his wound.
10 minutes felt like a lifetime as they frantically waited for an ambulance with their co-worker who was bleeding badly from their stomach.
What normally takes minutes took 3 days. A judge deciding 2 parents in a high-profile child abuse case will stay in jail until trial. The girl's mom, Terry Sanchez, breaking down in tears.
The man who police say is responsible takes at least partial responsibility.
No contest.
Justin Hansen allegedly broke into Brittany Marcel's home and beat her with a shovel in 2008. And since then, nobody has been able to figure out who was responsible. Until last year, when DNA evidence that linked an unknown suspect was matched to Hansen after police tailed him and took his DNA from a McDonald's cup he'd thrown out.
We learned today that there were some very disturbing systematic failures in how the young girl's condition was handled.
Over 10 Democratic congressional leaders from around the country toured the 2 border facilities where 7-year-old Jacqueline Cal spent some of her final hours. The 2 were taken into custody and transported to the Lordsburg Border Patrol Station. On their way there, the little girl began having seizures and vomiting. She was then taken to an El Paso hospital where she died.
ABC's Martha Raddatz sits down with pilot Tammy Jo Schultz and her co-pilot Darren Elliser. They safely landed Southwest Airlines Flight 1380 after its engine exploded.
We knew that something extraordinary had happened pretty quickly.
Debris from the engine hit the plane and shattered a passenger window. It was the window where Albuquerque woman Jennifer Reardon was sitting. She was partially pulled out of the plane and was the only passenger who died on the flight.
ABC's chief national correspondent Matt Gutman joins us from Los Angeles with the very latest. Matt.
Overnight, the CBP calling this a tragic loss, announcing it will be conducting secondary medical checks on all children in its care, with a focus on children under 10. Congressional delegation visited the Border Patrol station where Jacqueline was held just hours before her death.
I don't even know how to describe it. You could smell, it was uncomfortable, it was inhumane.
And now asking for help from the Coast Guard. Tonight, here's ABC's chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman.
The boy, 8-year-old Felipe Alonso Gomez, and his father were both traveling from Guatemala. They were first detained near El Paso on December 18th.
Unsafe driving behaviors like distracted driving, texting while driving, and not wearing your seatbelt continue to be the leading cause of crashes in passenger vehicles and large trucks. It's the end of your day and all you want to do is get in your car and go home, but your car's gone. It's tough to keep your grass green during a drought. With the help of a new tool, the Albuquerque Country Club has taken watering its golf course to new heights. It's almost time for the kids to go back to school, which means you have to readjust them to their normal sleeping schedule. State police will be paying more attention to your driving this week. So make sure you're not giving them a reason to pull you over. In Albuquerque, Brittany Hope, KOAT Action 7 News.
APD says they're hoping to expand the program and have 6 summer camps next summer. In Albuquerque, Brittany Hope, KOAT Action 7 News.
American Idol auditions wrapped up tonight in Old Town, and that means the next American Idol could be right here from New Mexico.
Could be. Anchor Christine Pay met a few contestants today. Let's take a look here.
American Idol is hitting the road and stopping in the land of enchantment.
Welcome to American Idol, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Could the next American Idol be in this crowd? 22-year-old Jordan Olguin of Albuquerque believes so.
Permian Basin includes the western part of Texas as well as southeastern New Mexico. The basin has always been a big part of the gas and oil industry, but as of recently, it's really the technique of horizontal drilling in that area that's really made the gas and oil industry thrive.
So let's talk about this Permian Basin. How big is it? Well, the state of New Mexico is roughly 122,000 square miles, and that basin is about 7 75,000 square miles. Now, if we were to compare that area of land to the state of New Mexico, it would cover about 60% of it.
Kelsey Corcoran is waiting for her husband, who's stationed at Kirtland Air Force Base and coming back to Albuquerque from Florida. He's been away for a month.
He was working on hurricane relief for the military.
Their two daughters waiting patiently for Dad.
Excited.
You miss him?
Yeah.
When they see him walk through the glass doors, it's pure joy.
Marigolds, calaveras, and photos of their loved ones. Dia de los Muertos is an annual holiday when families honor and remember those who have died.
The spirits of those who have died are able to cross back into the world of the living for a day of visiting.
100 homes are evacuated because of the Soldier Canyon fire. It grew quickly yesterday to 2,500 plus acres, but didn't jump in size today. The president of the Mescalero Apache tribe says they had recently thinned the forest, and that helped keep the fire from spreading. Sky 7 was there when crews were dropping fire retardant. Right now, 3 subdivisions have been evacuated. For those of you who need to evacuate your house because of the Soldier Canyon fire, head to the Tribal Community Center. The gym there is now a shelter. We're told 9 people stayed there last night. The Red Cross is helping set up cots and serving meals.